Hello there and welcome to the second video on this natural material lean-to project. Today what I'm going to do is put some logs on the structure of my raised bed. I have already prepared some logs, so I think we'll get straight into it and we'll start putting the logs on there to make the bed as flat as possible. I really picked the straightest logs I could find. So yeah. As you might be able to see, I put some stakes into here to make sure that the log can't roll off down the structure of the bed. So I'm now going to put the layer of log here. I'm going to make sure that the logs fit together well, so there are no big gaps or anything in between. Okay, so I think this isn't actually too bad for a raised bed or a bench. I'm probably going to use it as a bench for most of the time. It's a good height, nice comfortable height to be. So I think the next thing, I obviously need to put some more wood on the roof to make it more waterproof, or to make it waterproof, because at the moment it's not at all waterproof. But I think before I do that, what I want to do is to start maybe building a little bit of a fire reflector wall, so that I can have a small campfire in front of there, and then have a small wall there to reflect some of the heat. At the moment we don't really need heat, but later on in the year it will be nice to have a little bit of a wall, and it makes the shelter a bit more, it feels a bit more sheltered when you're in it. Okay, so what I want to do is, here I've got my shelter, and here against those 3 trees there, I want to build the reflector wall. So basically what I'm going to do is use these 3 trees here. So I made 2 nice stakes out of dead standing ash. I have been experimenting quite a lot around here with different types of wood for making stakes, and I find that dead standing ash is really the best. It's nice and hard, and it's easy to find relatively straight pieces, and ash doesn't split very much when you hammer on it. I find that woods like beech and hazel, they really split immediately. With willow, there is also some willow around here, I haven't tried much. I think it doesn't split too much, but willow is just very flexible, so when you hammer it in, it keeps wobbling around and the energy doesn't really travel down, and it's not very efficient when you hammer it in. So yeah, oak is very good too. Oak doesn't split too much when you hammer on it, but it's difficult to find straight pieces of oak, so I really find that ash is the best. So that's what I'm using. I don't want to make the wall too wide, because the wider I make it, the more wood I will need, and the wall doesn't need to be waterproof or anything, and there isn't much wind in here. It's quite a dense woodland, so just a bit of a wall to reflect the fire is going to be enough. So as you might be able to see, I hammered this in quite a bit, and there are a few chips that gone off. It has frayed a little bit, but there is nothing really bad, no splits, nothing. So ash is really the wood to look for when you're making steaks. As you can see, I'm really just piling all sorts of wood on here. I really don't care about the quality of the wood. I'm just looking for bits of wood and I'm stacking them on there. I think now I'm gonna switch off the camera, gonna finish this wall, because really it's just the same now. I'm just stacking up wood until I'm about maybe that high, and that's gonna be a good height. And then I'm gonna switch back on and talk to you about what we're gonna do next. Okay, so now this wall is up. It looks really good, I think. I ended up finding some quite big logs actually. There is a lot of forestry offcuts around here. They did a lot of clearing here, maybe 5 or 6 years ago or so, judging from the rottenness of most of these logs. But yeah, they work really well for my wall. I ended up using a bit bigger piece of wood than I expected, so I don't know if this stake is gonna be strong enough, especially that it's leaning out a little bit. So I might put a third stake in there, or even 4 stakes to secure this wall, but for the moment it's really good. You can have a look in the inside. That's how the wall looks from the inside. I think what I'm going to do, maybe not today, but next time for sure I'm going to do that, is make a second wall. Basically carry on this wall from here, just carrying it on until, actually probably until the end of the shelter. So until there, like, so that I got a little bit, like maybe half of the shelter is closed, and on this side I'm gonna keep it nice and open so that it's not too enclosed. But yeah, over here I will be able to light a fire next time. This time I'm not gonna light a fire, but next time for sure I'm gonna need a fire, because the mosquitoes are really starting to come out now. That's what the camp is looking like so far. I think it's starting to take shape. We've got the first wall there and the main lean-to with a bench. So what I'm gonna do next time is build a second wall, so that basically half of the shelter is closed off with walls and the other half is gonna remain open. And then I think after that I'm gonna have to look at piling a lot and lots of wood on this roof to try and make it more or less waterproof. Yeah. So guys, that's it for this video. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you very soon in the next one. Take care.